So this is why you make videos at the time you do. Like I just like a week or two ago uploaded my is NF bad video. And then NF dropped in a mixtape. So I got lucky there. NF has returned to the hip hop scene with a new mixtape here. I don't know if I really need to give my opinion on NF, but I will real quick. I don't really like him. I think he's put out some good albums. I like Therapy Session. I liked a lot of tracks from some of his albums. I thought there were some good tracks on Perception and The Search. I didn't like anything from Mansion. But as a whole, I don't really like him much as an artist. I think he's too inconsistent, repetitive, boring, and generally he doesn't really put out much creative music anymore. So with that knowledge, I didn't go into Clouds really that excited. It's been a couple years since The Search came out, and I know this isn't a new album really. This is more of like a mixtape kind of thing. It's a lot shorter. It's only like 40 minutes long. It's a pretty quick listen, and on top of that, it feels like a lot of cut tracks and not as important tracks. Maybe tease for a full album later this year. I don't know. To me, it has the same production, sound, style, and generally lyrical content as the other albums, so I'm reviewing it as if it is an album, basically. So yeah, a new NF mixtape here. And I would have reviewed other things now, because there are a couple things that I want to review, but I now realize that I listened to this first, and I didn't feel like listening to anything else last night. So this is what I'm going to be reviewing right now. This had two singles leading up to it. I really didn't like. I thought I actually really did not like either. I thought they were both pretty bad. So I did not go into this high expectations. I was going to go into this high expectations because I think NF is really dry on content nowadays. He has a very specific style to the point where he doesn't have any longevity. Like he drops a new track and it sounds like the last one. Oh, new track sounds like the last one. And he's very repetitive now, and I don't know. I don't really like him anymore. I like some of his older stuff, but he hasn't been good for a while. The album opens up with the track Clouds, which is trash. It's a terrible opening. It was released as a single prior. I liked it at first as a single, but after a bit, I kind of realized it was not really that good. The lyrics really just are really cringy to me, and I don't really like his flow. He goes da 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 da, and he was just this really like I don't know. I don't like the way he flowed across this beat. And on top of that, the beat is so overbearing. It's so like grand, big, loud, and it's so unfitting. That's the problem with a lot of the music on this mixtape is NF feels the need to have these giant orchestral production, and it just doesn't fit him. And that's the problem with Clouds. It's just way overproduced, way too much. No other track really hits the overproduction of Clouds, but most of them are pretty overproduced. That's a joke. It sounds like an NF song, what I'd expect from him nowadays. The lyrics are everything he always talks about, so it's really repetitive, basic. He's not doing anything new. The flow isn't really all that interesting. As a whole, it's just another boring NF song where he overdoes everything. Just Like You is better. It's probably my second favorite from the album. There's one that comes up soon that is my favorite. I kind of like the piano. I think it has a nice beat. I just think his rapping is, once again, incredibly uninteresting. It does not work, and it just kind of bogs the track down a bit for me. But Story, though, is actually a really great track. I really like this track. I felt like it actually really surprised me. I like the story he tells. I think it's actually really interesting. One of my favorite aspects about this song is I like the way when things start getting really dangerous in the story, he lets this beat get like, okay, I need to tuck my hair again. This beat gets like really loud. It gets really epic really quickly. And there's like this moment where it's like really loud and he's like yelling across it. And it really works because sometimes NF's aggressive energy is really good. But sometimes it's really bad. But here it really worked. I like the story. I think it's a really good track. I actually think it's up there as one of my favorite NF songs. This track was really surprising to hear at this point in the album because we all had 3 tracks prior that I didn't really like. And then he comes in with this track, and it's great. So, unsurprisingly enough, this album doesn't get better. It only honestly goes downhill from there. Prideful is another annoying beat with super high-pitched voices. That's a thing that NF does that I hate so much is in the background, wherever he puts these high-pitched, sad voices, and they're just obnoxious and bad. And I don't know, this just does not work for me. It's just annoying, it's slow, it's boring. I really find it very interesting. Then we have track Lost. with Hobson. I can't believe this song exists, and that's mainly because of how telling everything about this song is. It's titled Lost by NF featuring Hobson. You already know what you're getting, and it is exactly what you think it is. It's bad. That's honestly terrible. It's so overproduced. It feels so just, I don't know how to, like, almost unfinished in a lot of aspects. It's like he wanted to do this song with, I'm trying to fix my meaning. He wanted to do this song with the legendary Hobson, great rapper, you know. I don't like Hobson. I was being sarcastic. Fuck Hobson. But so the track opens up with being very NF, you know. I'm sad, I'm angry, nobody likes me. Here's these big, loud productions that don't fit with the really repetitive and bad lyrics. Oh, and here I am rapping this hook that just doesn't work, though. When I'm lost, it doesn't really fit with the beat, and it doesn't really work. And unsurprisingly enough, Hobson just drags it further to hell. He just comes in. He's doing this Hobson thing. He's being loud, aggressive, edgy, and it's just bad. It's just not good. The lyrics are so repetitive and uninteresting. It's almost as if the Hobson verse could have been rapped by NF, or NF could have just done this verse, and the track wouldn't be like any different, because they literally just did the same thing. It's a terrible song. It's exactly what it seems like. It's garbage. We have the track Layers, which is another NF song. It's what you'd expect from an NF song. Overproduced, check. Repetitive lyrics, check. Overdone lyrics, check. I will say that it's cool there's a beat switch. It didn't do much for me, though. It's there. It's neat. I like it, I guess. Drifting, I really have very little to say on. This was another annoying beat. Another generally it's just a bad NF song. Trust with Tech 9 is one of the better tracks, just because I think Tech 9 is talented. I don't know if that's, nobody talks about him. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I like him. I think he's okay. I think he's one of the first kind of speed rappers. I always like the way he's done it. But yeah, I think on Layers, NF does the crazy, I'm rapping wiggity wiggity whack, this ribbity ribbity rap, it's bit that, and it's impressive to no regard, because the novelty of rapping fast now has gotten so uninteresting to me. I think when Eminem does it, he does it in an entertaining aspect, because when Eminem is going to rap fast, we always know he's trying to top that last verse. He's trying to beat the last one. With Godzilla, it was cool because it beat Rap God. That was what was so exciting about the Godzilla verse. So when all these other rappers are rapping fast, they think they're rapping fast, and they think that they're being really talented. But really, when you read their lyrics, it's the most uninteresting thing and bland thing ever. Tech 9 does this well, though. I think he raps fast well. He has actually good flow. His lyrics are actually good. He works on this track, but it is, once again, an NF song, so it's kind of dragged down by that aspect. And then we have Paid My Dues, which was released like a year ago, or like well over a year ago. It was really boring, and I did not like it when I first heard this song. I need to keep this hat up. This song came out when I first heard NF. It wasn't the first NF song I heard, but it was around the time I had first listened to NF. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god, it really just sounds like everything else NF usually does. And that really is how I feel about it. I find the beat kind of just boring. Honestly, I just find the song boring, because the majority of this album is just boring NF music for 40 minutes. He doesn't do anything for this album. He doesn't change anything. And I don't know why he just chooses to do this. NF isn't an artist whom is gonna change his style, because he has a very loyal fan base who doesn't really need him to change his style. But as somebody who did like Therapy Session and likes a lot of NF music, and I hear songs like Story and I hear great NF music, I kind of sit here and think, you can make a song as good as Story, and then the rest of the album, the other 9 songs, there is a Clouds edit at the end of this, there's no need to talk about it. So he makes this one song, Story, which proves he's talented, and then the other 9 songs, he just does the same shit he's always doing on his projects. Talking about how much he hates himself, and how bad his life is, and I'm angry, I hate everything. And I'm like, we get it. This the problem with basing your career on such a specific idea. It's the idea that NF's career feels like it all centers around is I'm an angry, sad white boy. So every song he makes sounds like an angry, sad white boy. And he gets this producer who's giving him these orchestral, like, production. It just doesn't work. This isn't as bad as, like, Mansion, but I think after Mansion, this would be my least favorite NF project now. Because it proved to me what I already said was going to happen. After, like, a while now, I've realized NF's music is, if he keeps doing what he's doing, there's never going to be more good NF albums. And at this rate, that's just not going to happen. And the sad part is that it's capable of happening, but he just doesn't want it to happen because he still feels the need to vent about these problems. I don't know. I get that people love NF, and I'm happy people do, and I love a lot of NF music, but really, Clouds was 9 skips and 1 okay track. Or not one pretty great track, honestly. So yeah, Clouds by NF. Feeling a very solid C- on this one. Wasn't really a fan of it. I give it a C- because I don't think it's D+ worthy, because with orchestral production comes some epic, loud, cool moments on this. I might have actually dug this if it was if he were ever releases an instrumental version of this, I might actually listen to it and like it. Because I like orchestral, loud, epic music. I just don't think the reason why it's so cringy here is because of NF. He spoils it. He ruins it. So what do you guys think on Clouds? Are there any other albums this weekend that you want me to review? I'm thinking of reviewing the new AJR. Because I am an AJR fan in general, and I think it'd be cool to kind of get more into things that aren't just hip-hop. And I'm going to listen to it. I haven't liked anything they've released since The Click, honestly, so I don't know. I don't know if I really need to. But I'll give it a spin. If I feel like reviewing it, I'll review it. We'll see. There's a new Arm & Hammer Alchemist album. I don't know if I need to review it. I could. I've heard it's really great, so I'll listen to that. There's El Dorado by 24 Karat Golden. I might review that one. Because it's the big debut of the guy who made Mood, which is a great song in my opinion. So what do you guys think on Clouds and NF in general? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time, and peace out. Oh, it's raining now. Hey, perfect time of... It actually looks like an NF music video outside. Wow, isn't that neat?